Hey everyone, Derek Minyard here with TPAC TV, and today we're in the dressing room of the Trout Theater, and we're going to talk with Chuck Wagner, who is the lead actor playing Julius Caesar in the Nashville Shakespeare Festival's upcoming production of Julius Caesar. Chuck, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Derek. It's my pleasure. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, so a lot of people are familiar with William Shakespeare's work and the production of Julius Caesar, but for those who don't know what it's about, kind of what's a brief overview of the show and your role specifically in it?
Well, clearly I played Julius Caesar, one of the early rulers of Rome, and this play is about the Senate is not too happy with the ambition that Caesar is showing, and so Brutus and Cassius and a bunch of the senators get together and they assassinate Caesar. So it's probably one of the most famous assassinations in political history, and this is Shakespeare's take on the play, and it certainly doesn't promote political assassination, nor does it doesn't particularly condemn it. It kind of presents it and shows both sides, and there's a lot of, it's a dangerous situation, so, it's a lot of different manifestations. One of the most famous productions was Orson Welles' production of Julius Caesar that was done pre-World War II, and yet they kind of pictured Caesar as Mussolini, as Il Duce.
Yeah.
There have been famous productions with, recently there have been some where Caesar was Obama or Caesar was Trump or, things like that. And, it is what it is. And ours is kind of exists in a alternate reality kind of world where it's a modern day kind of, what do they call it, retro noir look. So it's a mishmash of costume styles. But it's Rome that you will recognize, and yet it's more contemporary in that they're film and news station kind of attitude. So it's a contemporary take on the classic tale.
Right, so it sounds like there's been a lot of variations of this production over the years.
Yeah,
so is the unique quality kind of one of the things that drew you to this production?
Well, no, it's one of the things too, because it's Nashville. I was born here at the Vanderbilt Hospital a long time ago, and they asked me if I would do it, and I also teach, and
Great.
So it's a chance for me to meet students from all across the state.
Yeah.
I do mostly musical theater master classes, but I also do workshops specific to a lot of the musicals that I've been in. I'm working on a motivational speech, trying to teach children that it's okay to fail.
So you're carrying lessons with you everywhere you go.
Well, I've been around. You don't get these for nothing.
So kind of on that note, what are some of the elements that you're hoping audiences kind of glean from this production?
Well, one of the things that I think the kids, especially the young high school kids, because we're going to have kids from all over the state. This is part of the Shakespeare for the Community program through the National Endowment of the Arts, and it's a real treat to be part of that kind of process. But because this is made modern and contemporary, and when Caesar is assassinated, he doesn't take it lying down. So when the actual assassination, I wouldn't say it's quite Sam Peckinpah or Quentin Tarantino, but it's not far off. It's going to be a really electric and kind of dynamic assassination. So
I have a feeling you don't go down easy.
I don't go down easy. Sadly, I stay down for a long time. That's the hardest thing I do. For like 20 minutes of the play, I have to lay there dead. And that's the hardest thing I do.
So you've done a background in film production as well as theater
yeah.
production. What's the difference in action scenes on stage versus in the film production world?
Well, one thing you have to be, it's deceptively slow. You have to do the speed slower than actual would happen in reality because the audience can't possibly follow it that fast. And it's also about, it's the illusion of the effect, whereas we're not actually making physical contact. If it were dangerous, then we're doing it the wrong way. So it's pretend, right? So nobody deserves to be hurt. So to me, it's always about safety first.
Yeah.
And we have great people working on our fight choreographers are great, and the cast has been fantastic. And it's a bloody mess taking me down. So.
Well, I'm sure it takes a lot of practice.
It is.
So.
But we're doing well. We have like another week to go before we open, and we have 2 run-throughs today, and it's slowly but surely coming together. I'm very impressed.
Fantastic. Well, I'm very excited to see you.
Thank you, Derek.
Well,
very
thank
good.
you for talking with us today, Chuck.
All right, very cool. See you at the theater.
Yes, and everyone, I encourage you to come out and see Chuck go down with a fight here at Julius Caesar at the Trout Theater. It's going to be here from January 10th through the 27th. It's also going to be at MTSU's Tucker Theater from January 31st to February 2nd. You can get tickets at NashvilleShakes.org.
That's good. That's all from his head. No teleprompter.
No teleprompter.
Impressed.